Nevada Unified School District Board of Trustee meeting. I want to thank you all for your patience. We had our work in closed session go a little long, so again, I just want to thank you. We're getting a little bit late start, but we are ready to begin, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you'll please stand and join me. Thank you. So we're going to move on to our next agenda item, which is announcement of reportable action during closed session, and I'll turn those announcements over to Vice President Butler.
Okay, the board did meet in closed session this evening. We met on 3 items. The first item with respect to every item of business to be discussed in closed session, public employees discipline dismissal release. That was information to the board. The second item with respect to every item of business to be discussed in closed session pursuant to Government Code 54957 and 54957.6. Conference with labor negotiator Barbara Varenkovich, attorney with Dennis Welliver Kelly, employees organization Nevada Federation of Teachers, otherwise known as NFT. We gave direction. The last item with respect to every item of business to be discussed in closed session pursuant to Government Code 54957 and 54957.6. Conference with labor negotiator Barbara Varenkovich, attorney Dennis Welliver Kelly, employees organization California State Employee Association, otherwise known as CSEA. We gave direction.
Okay, thank you. Our next action is to approve tonight's agenda, so I'll turn to the board and ask for a motion to approve or amend tonight's agenda.
I'll move the order of business. Item number 7, approval of the agenda.
First on approval of tonight's agenda, I need a second from Trustee Jacobson, seconds, and so all those in favor. I have 7 in the affirmative and 1 advisory in the affirmative. Thank you all. So we will move ahead with the agenda as written. Item 8. Public comment on our consent agenda. There is no public comment on tonight's consent agenda, so we will move to item 9, which is approval of the consent agenda. Does the board have any items on the consent agenda that they would like to pull and ask questions about? Seeing none, then I will call for a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda. I have a motion from Trustee Jacobson to approve tonight's agenda and seconded by Trustee Aguila. So all those in favor of approving tonight's agenda, hands up. Trustee Aguila, 7 in favor and 1 advisory in favor as well. So thank you for that. We're moving along at a good pace here so we can get to the good stuff as soon as possible. Next is announcements by the board, superintendent, and student body members. So I'm going to start by turning it over to our student body trustee.
Hello. So I do have a little bit of a long thing to say. So so we do have a new ASB accounting tech. Her name is Stephanie Short, and we are so happy to work with her. She's doing such a great job. We have leftover 2019, 2020, and 21 yearbooks, and we're selling them for $20. If you're interested, just see Stephanie Short in Nevada High School, window number 3. March Madness Spirit Week, lots of fun, a lot of participation happened. Rally last minute was outside, but it went well. There was a lot of spirit. There was the blacklight dance. A lot of people did attend. Hornet Bowl, seniors won. We remember that. MSA has 2 weekends of event. Next weekend is showcase weekend. After that is their spring dance production. We did a formal attire drive last week, which was very successful, and this was for seniors who couldn't afford any formal attire for prom. There were a lot of items donated. And then we did an Easter egg hunt on Friday. That didn't go very well with the threat, it's fine. Parking permits forms for next year are due this Friday, the 22nd, and then you must use your @students email to access the Google form. Parking spot recipients will be notified in May if they get a spot. And then Semana de los Niños is next week, so we have ticket sales to the dance on the 29th. They started this week already for $10. And then next week will be $15. We also started food ticket sales for the food fair that is happening next week on Wednesday. You do have to pre-order the food, so it's fine. Lunchtime activities will happen all week. For example, we have Cultural Pride Day, musical chairs, loteria, and we have a mariachi group coming in. So we are super excited for that. And then we have prom stuff coming up. So like we have prom guest passes that are going to be available now, and prom ticket sales start from May 2nd to the 13th, and that is the same day as AP testing. This will be at lunch out of the athletic director's office, which will be $65, cheaper than years before. There is a bus permission slip too that every person attending must fill out. All forms are available in Stephanie Short's office and the 2022 Senior Events bit.ly link. And then we have a senior breakfast coming up Wednesday, June 1st at 7 a.m. And Ms. Searle is looking for parents that would like to help coordinate sign up and help the day of the event. If you would like to email her interested at Searle NUSD, or you can just sign up at a link. And then May has Teacher Appreciation Week and Classified Appreciation Week in it, and we're hoping to work with PTSA to appreciate our staff. And that's about it.
It's a lot as usual. All right, thank you very much. Trustee Milrick, anything?
No,
else?
no comments this evening, sir.
Trustee Aguila, any comments tonight?
Yes, thank you. Just wanted to share that Eva Long and Cecilia Zamora, so one of our trustees for at Indian Valley Culture Marine, got an award. They got an award for Women's Hall of Fame. So congratulations to them, and it's a big deal. So very proud that one of them's from Novato, representing Novato, and attended a special education meeting, and also wanted to share about the tour of Novato coming up. And also, when you donate for the tour of Novato, I believe you have a choice to say when you sign up on the website, which category you want to donate the money to. So lots of departments need help. Special education needs help. And so wherever the money you guys decide to donate, it'll be very much appreciated. So I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee.
I joined a group at Modeling the Way. We honored a teacher at Marin Oaks, and I've had a couple meetings with community members.
So I too attended the SPED special education committee meeting this last week. I'm a little tired, sorry. And it was a really great discussion and opportunity to review the filming of the R Word that was provided by Dedication to Special Education. And we discussed, and I'm hoping that the district will be able to take up the offer that Dedication to Special Education is providing the shortened version, which I think is 25 minutes, that's geared towards high school students. And they're going to be offering it for free for us if we so choose, and I'm hoping that we can do that. There was a lot of other things that were great and going on, but I know that they're going to be presenting here soon, so I'll leave it to that department to share all of the great news about staffing and things that they've got working on. Also, I attended a communication committee meetings and want to say thank you to Leslie Benjamin and the group for their continued work that they are doing and formatting the different things that are sent out and the things that are on our website. And I also wanted to put a plug in for Guys and Dolls at the Emily Gates Performing Arts Center, which starts this Friday. It goes for 2 weekends, and I hope to see everyone there.
Great, thank you. Trustee Bank.
Can I just throw something? Sorry.
Sure,
That reminded me that San Jose Middle School is performing The Lion King. I think it starts tomorrow, and then it's over the next few days.
Just two things. Will be really quick. Last month, I accepted the nomination from the Marin County Office of Education to be the California Scholastic Federation rep for MCSBA, or Marin County School Board Association. So went to my first meeting 2 weeks ago for the Board of Governors for North Coast section and learned a lot. I'm going to be quiet for a little while, see what's going on, and then see what we can do there.
I hope you're not quiet too long. Trustee Butler.
Yeah, I attended North Bryn Council PTA, the Rotary Day of Service, which was last Saturday, which is all the Rotaries in District 5150 had a day of service, and they picked up litter around the Marin Civic Center. That's where it was held, and did some other projects across the Bay Area. We have 3 Rotaries in Marin that give back quite a bit to our schools, either financially through scholarships or dictionaries to all our 3rd graders, or hands-on work that they want to do at any of our sites, any projects. So it was important to be there, and our high schools, Novato High and San Marin kids were there helping out, or either there with their sustainability club. I also did North Marin Community Services 50th anniversary celebration. So they've been in existence 50 years, otherwise known as, some of us know them as Youth Center, thank you. I almost said wellness, but Nevada Youth Center, but they're combined, and now they're North Marin Community Services, and they do quite a bit of work, obviously, with our district as well. So I had 3 organizations that do so much for us. Modeling the Way, I was able to tag along with that, and we have some more this week, I think. I went to Novato High softball, and San Marin played against each other yesterday, so I was able to get in a few innings of that, and that was exciting. And then I have it coming up. I will be going to Lion King Jr. on tomorrow, and then Guys and Dolls on Sunday, and the Hamilton auction this Friday. So busy, it's busy.
So that's terrific. I don't have any announcements tonight other than to ask everyone to support their public schools whenever they can. Superintendent Derby?
Thank you. We are delighted to have all the children here today, and we're going to be hearing from them really soon. But we have some announcements to make with new hires, and so I want to do that. But before we do new people, we have an old person here that I have to introduce first, and that's Ray Mayoral, who was the former principal of Novato High, and now he's working as Mr. Ray as the assistant principal at Hamilton, and he's loving every minute of being with the little ones. So thank you, Ray. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so if you are a newly hired administrator, and Leslie, please come too, could you come up to the mic so that we could see everyone and get everyone introduced? So Amanda and John and Deb and Whitney and Carolina and Brianna and Kevin. Are you all here? Oh, we have babies here too. Okay, good. All right. Okay, very good. So I want to remind everyone that we had frozen positions. We had positions that we had to hold this year until we saw how our budget went, to see if we were going to be able to continue with the positions or we were going to have to restructure. So we did some restructuring, but we also have some fabulous people that we were able to get, so I'm really excited. The first person over here is Carolina Gage. She's coming to be the principal of Linwood, and she comes to us from Santa Rosa, and she's currently a DI principal for 945 kids. It's going to be a little bit of a change, and she's going to be so excited to meet all the families. So, yes, so welcome. Okay, and then could you just switch places so that you two could stand together? Right, yeah, sorry, okay. All right, but now I'm not going to introduce you first. I'm going to do Amanda. So Amanda Wagner comes to us from the Ross Valley School District. She is teacher on special assignment right now, and she has impressed the interview team to the extent that they said, okay, she's our #1 choice. So she's going to Hamilton as the assistant principal, and she's replacing Ray and Rudy, who are going to be moving on. She'll come to us July 1st, and so we're so delighted to have you, Amanda. So great. Okay, so then we know that Whitney was trying to figure out how to take care of 3 kids and be a full-time administrator and do all this, and so she made the decision that she was going to really need to step aside because, oh my goodness, how am I going to do all this? And then we made the announcement, and that wasn't working for anybody. Not for Whitney, not for the school, not for anybody. And then Deb Baraban stepped up and said that the 2 of them could work together and she'd help Whitney with whatever. And so we got together with Mike and said, we've got 2 fabulous people to share a contract and to support you and to be a team. And so Deb and Whitney are staying, both of us, as this is Deb's first administrative position. And so it'll be a learning curve, but it'll be so fabulous to have the 2 of you that know and love San Jose the way you do. I really appreciate it. So John Mattern is next. And so John was at Sinaloa 13 years. How long were you there? 13 years. And then went to Marin Oaks. And you might know him because he was doing a cooking class. He had to do it on Zoom. So he was having Zoom cooking lessons, sort of like the cooking show, right? And it was really impressive. And so then he decided to become the dean at Sinaloa, and he was offered the job. And then the job was eliminated. So we talked and said, okay, now what, right? And so then the opportunity came to Sinaloa again because of the AP, because Mike's coming to us as the director. So John is the new assistant principal at Sinaloa. So we're delighted you're there. Kevin, you weren't here last time, but I did say your name last time, but Kevin is coming back. You know, a lot of people come back to Novato. It's something you guys go someplace and then everybody wants to come back. And I was one of those, so it's like a great thing. It's a great thing. So Kevin was here when I was here last, and he was at San Marin, RSP. Yeah, and so now then he lives in Novato, which is a great thing, and he commutes to San Mateo. So, not for very long. So he's coming back to be with us, and he'll be the secondary coordinator of special ed. And we've just got a great team coming into play here, and I'm so excited about the new school year coming. July 1st, we'll all be together as one. So, and then, I don't know, do we introduce your son? I did not. Can you say hi? Oh, yes, okay. Oh, okay, a little more. Yes, okay, there it is. So if you could face Leslie so that we can get a photo, that would be great.
You guys can back up a little bit and then come together. And do you want it's okay for him to be in the photo? Okay, so let's see. You can go this way so I don't get the mic there. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, ready? Smile. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Thank you.
So thank you all so much and welcome. Okay, and I just want to remind everybody that Tuesday night, the 26th, Anthony Muhammad will be here to do a board workshop from 5 to 7 at a request that Diane made, and I think several others have probably made as well. We're going to televise it, so it will be, people will be able to attend. On Wednesday, the 27th, he is doing a community event at the PAC at Novato High, and that'll be from 3:30 to 4:30 for anyone who would like to come. And then he just concludes his time with us, and we've already started planning what he's going to do next year. So I'm really excited about him finishing up the equity audits. You'll be seeing the equity audit goals in all the principal school plans when they get presented to you. So these are exciting times, and I think Anthony's the right person for our district. So thank you.
Okay, so that concludes our announcements, and we are going to move on to presentations. And our first presentation tonight is going to be Olive Elementary School, and Lori Nuno, will you start us off?
Lori and everyone's here. Oh my goodness. Okay, will you introduce your whole team? Hi. Hi. How are you? Oh my goodness, she had a fall at work. Yeah.
Good evening, Board of Trustees and Dr. Derby. We are excited to present all of the fabulous things that are going on at Olive Elementary School. Tonight I have our kinder teacher, Miss Tiffany Boulad, our data specialist who also works with social emotional groups, Jody Castro, and our second grade teacher, Miss Vicki Brain. So as a new administrator at Olive, I really wanted to respect and continue the groups that we had in the past, especially with the pandemic. I wanted to make sure we had programs that were a comforting part of the community that was back in 2019. So in our video, you'll see 2 programs, our Peacekeepers and our Kindness Crew, and that are those 2 are programs that we've had in the past, but then we also brought in our DESA groups, which we look at our DESA data, and Jody meets with students who need just a little bit more support with social emotional, because right now we know what the pandemic has done for us, and all of our students need that extra support. And so I'm going to let Vicki speak just briefly, and then we'll show our video.
Hi, board. I'm just going to read this because I get really nervous. So, Olive has always been a special place. A tight-knit staff, awesome leadership, and always a focus on the social, emotional health of our students. We have always known how important it is to focus on the whole child and their social, emotional health. It has never been so important to focus on the whole child after the last few years of COVID teaching. As a primary teacher, we depend on our ever-growing library of social emotional books at our school library and in our personal collections. Books like I'm Enough, My Mouth is a Volcano, Stand Tall, Molly, Lou Mellon, Chrysanthemum, and so many more. These books are so much more than just a read aloud. They are important curriculum that dive deep into helping children develop the character traits that are so very important. Our goal is to help them to be successful in life by being able to connect to their life skills, their courage, empathy, friendship, respect, self-control, and responsibility. We use these books along with our Second Step program in all grades to encourage children in meaningful instruction through important and fabulous literature. Then we use student leadership as peacekeepers in our upper grades. Now we add the DESA groups to this equation and really support and focus on the social emotional health of our students and support the teachers too. We have found great success in helping our students in these specialized groups. Like I said before, I am proud to be a teacher at Olive and part of the Olive team.
Hi, my name is Tiffany Boulad, and I'm here to introduce some of the programs we have here at Olive School. The Kindness Crew is a group of students on campus that are 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, and we just think of different ways that we can spread kindness in the school, in the community, and throughout the world if we can.
I think that Kindness Crew has just been really nice to other people. Kindness Crew makes sure that everybody is important and is included. It makes Olive School a better place. It's more positive and just a lot more of a friendly environment.
So this year we started off by making, I think, 200 Valentine's cards for people in a senior citizen home. And then we took clips, clothespins, and we wrote kind, affirmative messages, positive messages on the clips. And then we went around and found backpacks to clip them on of people we didn't know. And then the kids had the idea that we'd go around the school and we would draw affirmative, positive messages around the school using chalk. So we did the upper grade and the lower grade playgrounds doing that. So I feel like all the activities that we've instituted here for Kindness Crew at Olive School has really made a difference at our school and in our community.
Hi, I'm Jody Castro. I work at Olive School, and I am helping to run social emotional groups based on our DESA screening. I work with small groups on a weekly basis to help them support them in their emotional growth. So we work on things like positive thinking, problem solving, how to be assertive on the playground. We talk about things like how to manage emotions, so things like anxiety or anger. It just depends on what each group needs, and then we ideally help them to use those in the classroom and on the playground.
I like just basically all of it. I really like when we learn about our emotions that we have, because right now I was really anxiety before, but when I'm right now I'm happy because I realized I could be on camera for the first time and people would see me all over the internet webs.
I feel like being in a classroom is sometimes stressful for a lot of kids, and I wanted this place to be a place where kids are not feeling stressed about learning, about interacting with others, and I feel like that's happening.
Our Peacekeeper program is a conflict management program, and what we do is we have kids stop and talk about their problems. We have them think about the core wounding experiences that we all experience and use our thinking brain rather than our lizard brain to solve problems out on the playground.
Helping someone out with an argument doesn't have to be hard or stressful, and it really just can be a nice way to help someone out. And I think Peacekeepers does a good job of that because they teach us how to settle conflicts calmly, and it's a great club to be in.
If we can train kids, students, to solve their problems, to understand their feelings, to gain consensus, to collaborate with other students and other people, then they're going to pay it forward, and we certainly need that in our world today.
I mean, it really means a lot to me because we get to help other people talk out their feelings.
So the video crew is a group of students, and what we do is we create community storytelling and collaboration here at school. The students work really hard with Marcus to learn video skills, and they take those skills and then they tape different events that occur at school. And at the end of the year, they collaborate on an original movie, which they write the script and they videotape it themselves and they edit it. And it is a combination of all of the skills that they've learned and all the excitement and all the things that they have put into the video crew for that school year.
I would describe it as you get together with other people to enjoy the making of a video and make something together with people.
So these are some of the amazing programs we've been running at Olive School this year.
Thank you for your support in accomplishing our mission of fostering the social and emotional development of our amazing student community.
So those are just a few of the programs that we have brought back or started at Olive that really focus on just supporting our students in social and emotional ways, and also to build some of those skills that they don't otherwise necessarily get in the classroom. Any questions?
Do we have any questions, trustees? Trustee Jacobson, go ahead.
Comment. This was beautiful. Thank you. I feel like this is an example of one of the ways that I'm so proud to be part of this organization, that you guys are teaching these kids how to navigate themselves, and they're just going to be better humans than the generations before them for that. And I really appreciate it.
Trustee Aguila.
I have a question. What's the lizard brain?
No, Friend's not here, but it's the part of the brain that we don't use in the best way when we're making decisions. So we want to have a more sophisticated brain. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Instead of acting, you react.
The fight or flight.
Yeah, great. No, this is beautiful. I echo what was said, and psychologically speaking, this is like the younger they are, the better. To start being kind to each other and start showing the best of themselves. So thank you for all you do.
Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it. Okay, so we're going to move on to 11B, which is Loma Verde Elementary School, Odyssey of the Mind, and Principal Chima will start.
Karen's been doing this for quite a while now.
We just calculated. Good evening. My name is Tania Chima. I'm the principal at Loma Verde, and it is my distinct honor to introduce you to Karen McCormish. This year we've been doing Odyssey of the Mind, and it's actually been Karen and Brenda Pfeiffer who've been leading it on. Karen's been doing it for 4 years. We just calculated, right? And we've had a really successful run, and Karen's going to share a little bit more about our program.
Can you pull the slideshow up, or do you want me to? Oh, I see it. There we go. I'm going to. It's so funny how the district office is all PC and all of us are all Chromebooks and Apples. So where's my present button? view. There we go. Thank you. Oh. This one? There we go. So Loma Omers, we all have a team number, and by the end of the season, they all memorize it because they have to know it everywhere they go when they're going to a competition. But imagine being faced with a problem that requires a very huge solution, has a lot of moving parts. They have to act out their solution and then be judged on it and actually receive a score for that. There's a lot of words here, and it says that you really have to practice the 6 C's in order to be successful at Odyssey of the Mind. It's collaborative. It's shows they're conscientious learners. They have to do a lot of critical thinking, problem solving, and communicate very well because they not only have to communicate in a script, but they also have to be able to communicate by building structures and understanding problems, very complex problems. If you've ever seen an Odyssey of the Mind problem, it is about, the shortest one is about 5 pages long, and they have to understand all of the different components of the problems. So Sri is the only person here today from primary team. You want to come stand with us? And the primary team, they're called primary because they're in kindergarten, 1st or 2nd grade. And this year's team, Ayana, Oaks, Petra, Theo, Sri, Nora, and Zane Chima were on that team. It was coached by Brenda Pfeiffer in her first year of voluntolding for the position. And I hope to get a few more of those from our campus next year. We did have one 1st grader on that team, but I think the whole team's going to stay together because as they learn their expertise, they end up doing a lot better. So here's our team 5. Primary is generally called team 6. Team 5 is our theater group. Come on up, theater. We have Grayson in 4th grade, Arhan in 3rd grade, Matthew.
I'm in 3rd.
Do I have you backwards?
Yes.
Oh no, Grayson's in 3rd. Okay, yeah. Grayson, Arhan, and who else is in 3rd? Everybody's in 4th.
Let's see. Oh no.
Yeah, Litsy's missing. So the Life is a Circus is a great problem name for this group. They made their costumes, and the purpose of the Team 5 was they had to solve a problem that required scene changes, magic tricks, and the creation of imaginary animals. And I think their favorite part was the humor and acting to make circus tricks, right? Was that your favorite part? This is definitely the humorous group. All right, the next team is Balsa. And from our Balsa team, we have Tegan's here and Morgan's here. We're missing Ira. And then Litsy, Matthew, and Benji joined because the circus team didn't make it past the regional competition. So we took the 4th graders from that team and we put them onto the Balsa team, which was going to be going to the state team. They were a little bit shorthanded with only 3 people with their circus act. This is a picture of them at the state meet, and you can see the structure right here. The hard part about this is they have to continually remaking structures because it gets crushed at every competition. So they were able to, at the regional competition, their structure held 32.5 pounds before it was crushed. Then they had to build it out again to go to the state competition. When they built it for the state competition, they were able to, one of the requirements was it had to open and close to mimic luggage, which was the other storage option. And their state structure held 95 pounds. They got 3rd place at state and were able to advance to the world finals, which is in Iowa. And we came together. It's the first time we've been invited to in-person worlds. We had 2 teams go to virtual worlds last year. And it was a little bit overwhelming for, I think, the parents and me to try to figure out how to raise about $1,600 per person to go to the world finals. So I did tell all the team members that if we make it to Worlds next year, we're going. It'll be in Michigan next year. Thank you, guys. And the next one is the networking team has Deanna, Daphne, Aria, Kristen, and Rose. Come on up. And usually, yes, problem number 2 is a networking problem, being that it usually involves some sort of logical sequence, and they had to create a device that would get rid of a self-replicating threat to the environment. This was acted out with a scene change and a chemical reaction, which propelled the team into the state competition, where they gained 75 points and made it to 4th place. No, 6th place. It was 8th place? Sorry, thank you. So that's team 2. And then finally, team 1 is the vehicle team. This is not a great picture of it, but here are their vehicles. The vehicle problem rotates between a ride-on vehicle, which we did last year, which is really hard to do virtually, and just self-propelled mini vehicles that have to run certain courses and achieve certain problems. All this they did while they were escaping from a virtual escape an escape room, and the vehicles had to discover clues to help them escape from this escape room. We also do have teachers on our campus, and we have Mrs. Morris, who volunteers to be a judge at competitions. Then Mrs. Hammock, who just joined Loma Verde, and now she's going to be voluntold next year to coach a team. And Miss Kay, who works with our special ed department, and she also was a judge at the regional event. So it's a great program. These are 2 of our vehicle team members. So we had Azrael, who was trying really hard to get a team 3, which is a classics problem. The vehicle team invited him in when he realized he couldn't get other teammates. Then we have Caleb, Diego, Jack, AJ, Colin, and Charlie. Come over here, Charlie. Morgan, can you come up and be in the picture, please? Thank you.
Okay, yeah. It's going to be Leslie's coming to do a picture of all of you.
Oh, by the way,
So you
these costumes were sewn and made by them. I can't do anything for them. I showed them how to use a sewing machine, and they went for it.
Okay, Mrs. Chima, you want to look this way? Everyone come. Okay, ready? Can I see everybody? All right, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
We didn't ask questions, so I don't know.
So we do have a question or a comment.
Yeah.
Okay. Trustee Gasson?
So thank you. I actually had just learned about Odyssey of the Mind right before COVID. I was actually looking at trying to do a program at Sinaloa, and so I saw how involved and how much time and effort it takes. So kudos to you for continuing that and through the pandemic. I mean, I recognize that must have been even more challenging, and I love seeing all this and was just so impressed with the program too, and all the things that, like you said, it said you can absolutely not help. They do everything on their own.
They do everything on their own. Since they are an elementary team, they are allowed to dictate stuff to us. So I can ask them questions like, who are the characters in your script? What is your script? What does it do? And how's the problem? And what are you going to do? So, and actually, when you coach more than one team, which is really difficult, then they probably don't get the appropriate amount of coaching that they should get in a season, because they need more. They could get more individual attention if there was an adult for each team. But I just think that it's really important to take all comers, because that's how we create equity, right? We give it to the students who might not have parents who can volunteer all the time.
And I think when she started, she said she was going to just coach one team.
Yeah, I
And
did.
then
I
she
said
was,
that this
like,
year too.
adamant over and over again.
And I said it about next year too. One team, that's just it, one team. We'll see.
Well, thank you for being voluntold.
Thank you. Okay.
All right, that was good.
Hamilton, come on up, Steph. I failed to introduce Rudy. He's in the back. Raise your hand, Rudy. Rudy's another person who came back, and he was working every single day as the assistant principal. And he said, Ray, help. So there it is. So they're sharing the contract now. So it's really great. And thank you, Rudy, also
And they
for
are a
helping with
godsend.
master schedule. Yeah. Okay.
Ready for me?
Yes, we're ready for you,
Good
Steph.
evening, trustees and Dr. Derby. Years ago, when Rise Scholars was just in its infancy, Michelle Huff and Jay Ferguson brought the idea of bringing chess to Hamilton and making it this wonderful, hopefully one day national program. And so you've seen Jay Ferguson. He has demonstrated with some of our students our chess program for you before in years past. And of course, you're familiar with Michelle Huff, who's on the board for Rise Scholars. And then COVID hit. And that took a huge toll on our chess program. We had things fell off. Things had to be moved virtually. And now that we are back and in person, and we have a new program director by the name of Abel Telementes, and we are so grateful because he has come in with so much energy and so much experience and has brought a new vigor to our program, so much so that we have some competition winners, and I'll have Abel come on up and introduce the kids and talk about the program.
Thank you, Stephanie, for those very kind words. And thank you for the board for sort of acknowledging the accomplishments of these kids and what we're doing at Hamilton. So I am Abel Talamantes. I'm the chess program director at Hamilton. And what really attracted me to the school and to coming to kind of help the program here was the idea that I've always believed that chess can be used to change and improve lives. And when I was talking to Jay and Michelle about the opportunity to come to Hamilton and kind of lead the chess program there, I really felt it from them, their energy, and their goal was to sort of improve the kids' lives first, and using chess as a vehicle to do that. And so I came in, met the kids. We have a lot of participation during lunch. We probably have 60 to 70 kids that come through the lunch program. And then we have our after-school class where it's, hour and a half, hour 40 minutes. And that's sort of a more dedicated team training class. And one of the beautiful things to see, and I've been in the chess business for a little while, is one of the things you don't see that exists at Hamilton is a high number of girls participating in chess. Usually, if you go to any competitive tournament, for every 10 boys, there's probably one girl if you're lucky. And at Hamilton, if we have 100 players, 50 of them are girls. It's literally half. When we took our team to the state championship competition, they competed in the rookie section because virtually everyone, it was their first tournament. The majority of our 16 players were girls. And they took first place. And it was just fun to watch them because they play chess in the chess club room, but now they're taking it to another level and competing with other people. And there they got the awards right over there. So they work hard, they play hard, they train hard. But one of the things I love about the program and that we really try to instill when they participate and play is learning the values through chess that can be brought to other areas of their lives, because we teach them sportsmanship, we teach them learning from their mistakes, we teach them to persevere through their adversity in their games when they're losing or down material, to kind of stick with it, still try to find best moves try to make the best decisions even in like the roughest times. And I couldn't be prouder of these kids and all the support that we have at Hamilton and with Rise Scholars. And it's a pleasure to be here to talk about everything we do. Another thing that's like great about the program we have is that we mentioned the virtual programs. We've been competing online with other clubs internationally too. We competed with a team from Guanajuato, Mexico. Last week, next week, we're competing, and we do this in class because they have their Chromebooks with them, so we compete online. And we have another match next week with a team from Chihuahua, Mexico. So it's kind of fun to sort of bring that international, cross-cultural, and it's a beautiful thing to take these kids to a tournament and see Hamilton and Novato representing kids that are very, very much underrepresented in bigger areas of chess. So congrats to the kids from Hamilton and for all the support, and thank you, the board and superintendent, for sort of giving us an opportunity to kind of do a little bit brag about the very cool stuff we're doing with chess at Hamilton. And I think we had one of the players, Jesus. Did you feel like coming up and just talking about the club and how you feel about it? Oh yeah, I mean, so the kids at this tournament, you know, you think it's a burden because after we do our instructional part after school, we usually have time for one game where we give them 15 minutes each, and that feels tiring. They had to go to the tournament a couple Sundays ago. They had to play 5 games. We left on a bus from 7 a.m. at Hamilton, got back at 7:30 p.m., close to 8, played 5 games throughout the day, so they had to maintain that stamina. But, you know, pizza, some card games in between rounds, it really helps bridge the gap. You like that part? So, and here's Jesus, one of our club players. What do you like about the club, and what do you enjoy about it?
I like how we just like play strategy games and like basically learn a lot, because you're teaching us like basics or like skills about chess that we should know if we want to like move on to like better tournaments, you know? Yeah.
Fantastic. Thanks, Jesus. And echoing to like what he said, like one of the things like I told him just yesterday is, you know, we're proud of what we did. We're happy about what we did in competing and winning the section. But there's more to be done because there are higher sections. We, you know, eventually our goal is to kind of elevate, always look to improve and get better and compete for overall state champion, overall national championship. But you got to start somewhere, and they're taking the steps. But the goal is always self-improvement, continuing to practice, preparing, and using those strategies. It's going to apply to other areas of their life, be it school, sports, dance, whatever, art, whatever else they do. Continuous improvement and just be better tomorrow than you were today. So we're proud of that, and we're excited, and there's going to be a lot more to come. Hopefully make some more noise, and we'll be here with bigger and better things in the future. Thank you.
Hey, if you could come up for a photo, that would be great. Oh, we didn't.
Yeah, well, just
I think Trustee Aguila has a question, so one question.
so just wondering if any of us trustees would like to go and play chess with you or with the team, or if you could show us.
Yeah,
show me, because I don't know how to play chess. So
Yeah, 3 o'clock at Hamilton anytime. We'd be more than happy. Yeah.
okay.
Show us up.
The kids are ready.
Sí, muchas gracias.
Trustee Gaston has a question.
Muchas gracias por
And
su
Trustee
ayuda.
Mack.
Gracias.
Actually, I would love to try. I'm sure I'd get beaten. But did you say, and I apologize, what's the grade range?
In the team that competed, it's the 3rd through 7th.
Oh, so that big of a span.
Competed, but like when we do our lunch program, like our highest participation are 2nd graders.
That's
So they
great.
come during lunch, they kind of learn the basics. We have like a program where they earn what's called a pilot's license if they sort of like get through 7 basic principles of doing a game. They earn a medal, which is kind of like the first step. And then after they complete that, there's also another medal to be earned. But after they do that first step, what I've been doing is I've been giving them a chess kit account so they can practice at home online. We provide that for them. And then so they can interact and practice and improve. And initially, we were doing 4th through 8th grade as the after-school program, but we saw that there was a lot of talent in the 3rd graders, so we kind of opened it up to them, and they came. Actually, a 3rd grader was our a top finisher, like in the tournament. So it's all about strength and practice. It's not about age. So that's one of the really cool things about chess. Yeah.
Trustee Mack, do you have a question?
All right, guys, let's do some bragging. What are those trophies? Yeah, read it for us.
And there's about 4 individual trophies that are, I'm sure, in their rooms, prominently displayed. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you very
now we're
much.
ready for our photo. So come on up to the front there.
How are we gonna do this? Let's see. Okay, that's a great, let's see, can I see everybody? I sure can. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Great, thank you. Congratulations.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? I know.
Okay, so we're going to move on to our next agenda item. And our next agenda item is the Marin County Office of Education presenting information on the Nevada Unified School District budget. And we have Kate Lane here from the county office. And did you bring a trophy with you, or did you have something along those lines? But welcome, and glad you're here.
Thank you so much. Good evening, trustees. Good evening, President. And thank you so much for having me here. And in fact, the trophy I hope to take away with me tonight is one that we refer to in our office as the Be Brief, Be Brilliant, Be Gone. In other words, I do not wish to take up too much of your time this evening. I really just came to say you have our second interim letter reviewing your second interim budget, and it's posted to the agenda. And we just want to thank the board and the community for the tremendous work that you accomplished this year. You stayed the course when you could have said, oh, I heard a glimmer of some good news. Maybe I could put this off for a moment. And instead, you stayed the course. In staying the course, your budget has improved significantly over the course of this year. And you are now, we feel, really well placed to go forward into the future. And so that is it. We're just so very happy and grateful for the work that has been performed here in the district. And we recognize that it was hard work, and there we are. So if there are any questions about any element of the letter or any of our comments, I'm happy to take those.
Do we have any questions or comments tonight? No. So we appreciate the work that you've done, and we all did get the letter, and it was a pleasure to read it. So again, thanks for being here and letting us know.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so it's time for non-agenda public comment. And we do have one speaker tonight, and you speakers have 3 minutes. And I just want to remind the public that because the speaker is addressing a non-agenda item, the board cannot comment tonight. So we'll go ahead and move ahead with Carl Robinette addressing the board. Hey, Carl.
Hi, my name is Carl Robinette. I'm a student at Novato High School, and I just wanted to discuss the bus situation in regards to prom at Novato High School. I have talked to many other students, and the overwhelming majority agree that buses should be optional to the prom. Many of us are 18 and were never asked whether we wanted a bus. If a parent sees it necessary for their child to be bused to the prom, they should arrange that with the school, rather than make every student take one. Many students want to drive just with their friends, take a limo, or do something after the prom with their friends without having to go back to Novato first. With the dance ending at about 11 p.m., students would not get back to the school until roughly 11:45. Additionally, for kids living in farther counties, it seems rather unfair to not provide the option of driving themselves home a faster route after the prom rather than busing them back to Novato for them to have to drive more. For this reason, an opt-in or opt-out busing policy would respect the needs of students of Novato High School while still addressing the needs of the parents who want buses. I think this compromise would give student voice to the issue while still giving voice to the parents who object to their kids driving on their own or with friends. Thank you very much for your time.
And thank you for your comments tonight. Okay, so let's keep moving to along on our agenda. The next is item 13. These are discussion action items, and the first one is approval of resolution number 98 for the 2021-2022. These are the final layoff notices for our certificated staff, and Barbara Vinkovich will present the report.
Good evening. As most of you will recall, if you were here at the board meeting in February or March 1, the district passed a resolution to distribute preliminary layoff notices to certificated staff. The requirement is it must be done by the 15th of March. Those notices were all hand-delivered by me along with Mariah Fisher, who is the bargaining unit president. The second step in the layoffs is that final layoff resolution and final layoff notices must be distributed to those individuals who are going to, as we speak tonight, be laid off for the subsequent school year. So that's the purpose of the resolution that you have here. Just for information, all of these individuals who are receiving a final layoff notice will be placed on a reemployment list. And by law, they have to be offered reemployment as positions for which they're credentialed and qualified become available. Probationary employees have a 24-month reemployment period. Permanent employees who are laid off have a 36-month reemployment. It might be 39 months. It always strikes me as weird that it's 39, but I think they throw summer in there just for, extra measure. So that process has not yet begun. Because the district has not yet firmed up the number of positions it's going to be reinstating. But looking down the road, I hope for everyone here in Novato that all of these teachers will be reinstated, if not for the upcoming school year, but within, by the 23-24 school year.
Okay, thank you. Questions for our Human Resources Director? No, shaking head. So then this is a resolution that we are passing, so I'll need a motion from a trustee and a second. I have a, Trustee Millick, was that a question? Appreciate that. And a second from Trustee Mack. So all those in favor of this resolution regarding certificated? I have 7 in the affirmative and 1 advisory. Yes. So that resolution will pass, and we will move on to the second one, which is approval of resolution number 9 for 2021-22. This is the final layoff notices for our classified staff, and interim HR Director Barbara Vinkovich.
The process for classified and certificated layoffs as of this year is basically the same. At one point, they were not identical, but the legislature changed the procedures for classified. So everything that I said earlier, March 15th, May 15th, reemployment rights, is exactly the same for classified. And the good news, if there is such a thing in terms of layoff, is that this only affects one individual in the district right now.
Okay, so we almost didn't have to have one. So, but to the board, I'm going to need a motion to pass the resolution. Trustee Milrick.
I'll make the motion for resolution number 292122, affecting classified staff.
Okay, very good. And a second from trustees who are reading. I'm going to, Trustee Butler, we'll get her name on the minutes. Just kidding. So we'll go ahead and move ahead and hope that we have opportunities for all of our staff going forward. So I'll take the vote now. All in favor? 7 in the affirmative and 1 advisory yes. So the resolution is passed. And we will move on to item number 13C. And this is approval to award a contract to FRC Incorporated, having to do with the new kitchen project at Pleasant Valley. And we have Director of Facilities, Mike Willard, to present.
Thank you, and good evening, trustees. Very simple request in front of you tonight. As you know, back in September, you had approved a schematic design, budget, and schedule for the project at Pleasant Valley Kitchen renovation, an amount of $2 million. And we did have a bid opening on April 7th. We had 4 responsible bidders, and we have the lowest one at $1.63 million, and we are recommending award to that contractor for this project. So we're here tonight to ask board approval to award the contract to FRC for the new kitchen project at Pleasant Valley Elementary School for $1.63 million. And I can answer any questions or comments. And sorry, a little nervous. I've never been on this early before. A little bit of pressure.
I keep threatening to put you up front.
Getting used to it.
So we have a question from Trustee Butler to start.
Why don't you mention you had a first bid, but it got withdrawn?
Correct.
The document attached has the lowest bid, and that's not the one that we're approving.
So we did have a lower bid, but it wasn't responsive because the bidder pulled out under a clerical error allowance within a certain amount of time after they provide the bid. They're allowed to pull out for that, and he did. So we went to the next lowest bid, which turned out to be the lowest responsive and responsible bid. You don't have to go back out again. Well, we had 4 bids. 1 dropped out for a clerical error, and just to give you an idea, 3 of them were right around the same price, and the initial lowest one was significantly lower. I think they did find a clerical error and smartly pulled out, especially given the environment we're in. So it's probably a good thing all the way around. So we did have still competitive with 3 bids. And FRC is a well-known contractor and very experienced in this kind of work.
Okay, so we do have a recommendation from the superintendent and staff to approve the FRC contractor, as well as a letter of recommendation from our construction management advisory company, Greystone West. So it's to the board to approve the report. Okay, I have a first from Trustee Gasson, a second from Trustee Butler. So all those in favor? 7 affirmative. So FRC is the contractor.
Thank you very much.
And thank you very much.
Sir.
Okay, so tonight was a good meeting because we had a lot of kids here and a lot of what we do on a regular basis. The business went quickly, so I appreciate everyone's being prepared for that. And having said that, I think it's time to adjourn tonight's meeting. So we are adjourned.